Hello aspirants, welcome to the new initiative of ours known as UPSC Jugadu, your very own Jugad to cracking UPSC CSE. Now our aim is to provide you the required guidance to clear the exam away from the buzzard of the market. We therefore are coming up with Sociology Optional made easy, answer writing through PYQs. Why do aspirants face problems while attempting a question? Do you know why? We are all aspirants and we know why. Because lack of familiarity with sociological concepts, theories and perspectives. At times our concepts are not clear, and that is why we face difficulties to write our content on the paper. We don't understand the requirement of the question and the perspective of the thinkers. Difficulty in decoding complex sociological jargons and terminologies. For every sociological answer, there is a particular lingo that you have to use in the answers. For example, you don't write advantages, you write functional aspects, or you don't write disadvantages, you write dysfunctional aspects. Likewise, you have to use conflict, functions, interactionalist perspectives, and that we fail to include in our answers. Inability to understand the nuances of the question, leading to incomplete or irrelevant answers. Because we don't understand the requirement of the questions, therefore we are not able to provide the complete information. That is why we face a friction to answer writing, and there is no one to guide us for what we need to write for the questions. Insufficient preparation of empirical examples to support their arguments. This is a very popular problem. We fail to inculcate current affairs with the answers, and most of us waste their time to read current across the years, and we really forget the importance of the static syllabus. Lack of critical thinking and analytical skills to apply sociological methods. As we discussed earlier, there is a lingo to sociology that we fail to understand. Poor time management and inability to prioritize relevant information. Let me give you an example for this. You have a bucket of water and you have a well, and you need a glass of water. What will be easy, to fetch it from a bucket or a well? Yes, you're thinking right. A bucket would be easier to fetch a glass of water. That is why we have to read a limited content and to create answers through that limited content. Over reliance on rote learning, memorization of text and less answer writing practices. Across the years, we have explored that we just waste our time reading the content, and we face a friction writing answers. This needs to be sorted out, because we don't want you to waste time in rote learning. Inability to integrate GS with sociology and draw connections. We've already discussed this point earlier. So how UPSC Jugadu can help you? So our motto would be guiding through minimum resource for maximum output. Minimum resource means limited content, and how to use that limited content for writing answers. You don't have to be a book collector at the end of the day. We need you to be district collectors. And with our experience, that we have faced the problem difficulty in learning outcomes. That is why we want to help you to not to waste your precious years in just understanding the exam. And I think this is a problem with 90% of the aspirants. Template based PYQs for each topic. You have to wait a little, let me show you. Learning how to add sociological flavor to your answers. Again, lingo. Helping you to develop right approach to stellar sociological answers. Of course, you will see the real answers and you'll know how stellar they are. Smart and Jugadu way to tackle the subject. Hang on a bit, we'll show you. Analyzing and predicting questions through PYQs. You know that PYQs are a map to understand that you're going in the right direction. they will act as your GPS in prelims as well as mains. So you have to understand the importance of PYQs. For example, Karl Marx. This topic has been repeated each year. Or else Durkheim. This topic has been repeated each year. Therefore, they hold much importance than the other topics, a few topics which are repeated alternate years, and will help you to sort those topics out. We'll show you how toppers have written their answers, and we'll practice some questions on the discussed topic. And of course, our motto at last, hitting bullseye with no bullshit approach. Let me show you a few answers and then you can understand. So we'll discuss topic religion and society and subtopic types of religious practices. Question 1 is, what is cult? Explain the growth of cults in the contemporary world, which is a 10 marker and has been asked in 2021. Then what is a sect? Discuss the role in multi-religious societies with empirical examples. This is a 20 marker and this has been asked in 2018. And from this syllabus, there has been a question which was asked in the year 2020, which was a 10 marker, which is state the reasons for the various religious beliefs and practices in the pre-modern societies. अगेन जब आप हमारा कोर्स देखोगे तो आपको पता चलेगा कि ये दोनों आंसर्स डिस्कस करके हमें तीसरे क्वेश्चन का भी आंसर मिल जाता है एंड आप ये देखेंगे कि ये दोनों आंसर्स में कितने सिमिलैरिटीज़ हैं. सो लेट्स डिस्कस अहेड. ओके, नाउ लेट्स डिस्कस क्वेश्चन 1. व्हाट इज़ अ कल्ट? एक्सप्लेन द ग्रोथ ऑफ कल्ट्स इन द कंटेम्प्रेरी वर्ल्ड. 10 मार्कर है. यहाँ पे आप डिफाइन कर लीजिए कि कल्ट क्या है, राइट. उसके बाद आप लिखिए कि हाउ ग्रोथ ऑफ कल्ट्स हैव टेकन प्लेस इन द कंटेम्प्रेरी वर्ल्ड. सो बेसिकली यू हैव टू राइट द रीजंस, and reasons could be different, like charismatic authority. Then they could be, answering some of the questions that science or religion has not answered. An intellectual thirst जो रहता है लोगों का कि कुछ आंसर्स नहीं मिल रहे हमें लाइफ में, या फिर कोई थिंकर्स आप डाल दीजिए. And with that you can substantiate the questions with certain examples that you have in mind. There are very popular examples of cults around you. उसके बाद आप डाल दीजिए एक conclusion, and conclusion again आपको एक hopeful होना चाहिए या एक positive note पे end होना चाहिए. अगर आप चाहते हैं to attempt the question, you can pause the video, attempt the question and then we'll discuss the answer. So let me discuss the answer with you. So what is a cult? A cult is a small group of religious activities whose beliefs are different from the dominant religion, focusing on individual experiences. And they are often based on charismatic leadership and are often loosely organized. For example, आपने देखा होगा ब्रह्म कुमारी. So when did it start? It started through Shiv Baba. So he was a charismatic leader for the organization Brahma Kumaris. And then let's come to the second part of the question, reasons for the growth of cult. Again, let us discuss a few points. For example, again, social evils, discontentment and change in the society. For example, Jainism, Buddhism developed in the form of a cult against Brahmanism. Alternatives to the marginalized section of the society. For example, anti-caste cults. Bhakti movement is one of those, which was away from the caste system. या फिर आप लिख सकते हैं thinkers like Aldrich, वो कहते हैं कि it is because of some answers, like आपके कुछ problems हुए लाइफ के, या फिर आपको डायरेक्ट कम्युनिकेशन करना है गॉड से, या फिर यू वांट सैल्वेशन इन द आफ्टर लाइफ. तो ये सारी चीज़ें आंसर करता है कल्ट. देन यू कैन से अ फ्यू एग्जाम्पल्स. फॉर एग्जाम्पल आर्ट ऑफ लिविंग है, जो कि आपको एक स्पिरिचुअल ग्रोथ की तरफ ले जाता है. वो कहते हैं कि यू कैन डायरेक्टली कम्युनिकेट विद गॉड. एंड देन वॉलेंटरी नेचर प्रोवाइड्स एन ओपन टू ऑल नेचर. वॉलेंटरी है, इसके लिए कोई भी ज्वाइन कर सकता है. जैसे हमने कहा कि लूजली ऑर्गेनाइज्ड है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, ISKCON इज़ इवन ज्वाइन बाय फॉरेनर्स. सो दे डोंट डिफ्रेंशिएट बेसिकली. because of latent functions like establishment of schools, hospitals, old age home, animal welfare, community langars, etc. So these are again a few added advantages to the cult system, इसलिए भी लोग ज़्यादा प्रमोट करते हैं. देन पीटर बर्जर सेज कि कुछ रिवाइवलिस्ट होते हैं जिन्हें पास्ट ग्लोरी से मतलब है, या फिर कोई एडवेंटिस्ट होते हैं कि वो न्यू मीन्स ऑफ जॉय लेकर आएंगे लाइफ में, बिकॉज वी ऑलरेडी हैव सीन कि मंडेन प्रॉब्लम्स बहुत है हमारे लाइफ में. या फिर ओरिएंटलिस्ट हैं जो ओरिएंटल रिलीजन्स पे फोकस करते हैं. नाउ कल्ट्स ऑल्सो हैव दिस फंक्शंस. फॉर एग्जाम्पल controversies like around cultic leaders like आसाराम बापू और रामपाल महाराज, रैकेट्स हो जाते हैं या फिर बहुत ज़्यादा नॉन कमिटमेंट हो जाता है मेंबर्स की तरफ से, और कंज्यूमरिज्म बहुत बढ़ जाता है कि पीपल स्टार्ट सेलिंग इन द नेम ऑफ कल्ट. नाउ विल एंड विद अ पॉजिटिव नोट. Cults plays a major role in answering complex questions of contemporary life, afterlife, incomplete secularization, which at times religion or science is unable to answer. So we have ended with a positive note, right? Now let's come to the second question. What is sect? Discuss the role in multi-religious societies with empirical examples. Now again you have to define, then give the body reasons. उसमें क्या आएगा, फंक्शंस आएगा, और एक पार्ट आएगा डिसफंक्शंस. देन यू हैव टू कंक्लूड विद अ पॉजिटिव नोट. आप देखेंगे कि पॉइंट्स वुड बी ऑलमोस्ट द सेम एज द लास्ट आंसर, बट अगेन दिस इज़ अ 20 मार्कर एंड दैट वाज अ 10 मार्कर. सो एट टाइम्स वी फेस सर्टन प्रॉब्लम्स कि 10 मार्कर में हमारे साथ बहुत ज़्यादा कंटेंट है और 20 मार्कर्स में हमारे पास बहुत कम कंटेंट है. तो हम इसे कैसे बढ़ाएंगे? ऑफ कोर्स एग्जाम्पल्स इज़ वन ऑफ दोज पार्ट्स, बट आप एक चीज़ देखेंगे कि यहाँ पे एक्सप्लेनेशन बहुत ज़रूरी है हर एक पॉइंट्स का, सो दैट यू कैन रीच द वर्ड लिमिट दैट हैज़ बीन आस्क्ड. और ज़रूरी नहीं कि आप 300 वर्ड्स में ही लिखें. एनीथिंग अराउंड 275 to 325 is done. I think it's better to be under 300 marks because there are penalties in the recent exams that we've seen. Now I would like you to pause the video and attempt the question. So let's discuss what is sect. So as we have seen कि cult बहुत ही loosely organized है, but sect are stricter form and they can culminate into a denomination, and denomination religion में convert हो जाता है, as we have seen in case of Roy Wallis ने जो कहा है उसमें. And sect usually are intolerant towards other religious groups. It is marked by a desire to dissociate from existing social order. It is an attempt to rationalize the dominant religion. Reasons being a disagreement. Disagreement हुआ तो एक cult बना लिया आपने और फिर वो sect में चला गया, convert हो गया. जब interpretation में problem आती है तो sects are developed. Methodism is one of the popular ones. जब industrialization होता है तो लोगों के problem same होने लगे, इसलिए उन्होंने ये sect develop किया. As said by Brian Wilson. See how thinkers are very important in the answers and how you can include them. Role of sects in multi-religious societies. So we'll come at the functional part. As I said, you don't have to write advantages. You have to write the functional aspects. So you can read the following points like alternate viewpoints. For example, Nirguna Bhaktism, or promote brotherhood, of course, equality, common goal. और वेबर सेट कि कुछ ऐसा भी है कि इकोनॉमी डेवलप होता है, जैसे प्रोटेस्टेंट एथिक्स का एक एग्जाम्पल यूज़ किया है उन्होंने अपने स्टडी में. एंड दिस इज़ द पार्ट ऑफ रिडेम्पशन फॉर द डिसप्रिविलेज. ऑफकोर्स डेरा सच्चा सौदा हेल्प्स यू टू promise a casteless society. It is therefore appeals to the alienated and marginalized. It answers to the mundane problem. Again the same point that we have repeated in the last answer. And it provides a solace and a way of life. Brian Wilson mentions that when traditional life is disrupted, people search for explanation and belongingness. For example, Navyana Buddhism of Ambedkar gave a belongingness to the Dalits. Some sects are as a result of wider process of secularization and liberalization. For example, Arya Samaj. They aim to revive the glorified past. It is often It often tries to generalize new norms and values. For example, Lingayat sect. They have their own identity and expect the members to commit to the sect. So they have certain practices. For example, Swaminarayan sect. They have a tika. Dysfunctions. Tighter control over the members. Of course, sects are tighter than cults. Monopolizing religious truths. It may face an opposition and cause conflict. Of course, monopolizing anything will face a conflict in a long run. Revivalist nature is a threat to the secularization. For example, Wahhabism developed because Islam was going through a secularization process. For example, they promoted modern education. So this wasn't appealing to certain people. So they promoted Wahhabism, which is a revivalist movement again. Some have changed to a racket medium to earn or mint money through donations, bonded labor, etc. And you can write an example, Asaram Bapu case or conviction of DSS leader Gurmeet Ram Rahim. We have seen his movies also. Could be a closed group having exclusivity and membership criteria. This benefit only limited people. So these are stricter sects. और कुछ भी चीज़ स्ट्रिक्ट होती है तो वो ज़्यादा टाइम तक नहीं रह पाती. So we have an example, Genova witnesses. Hayden and Poway said, lack of respectability with time, so therefore they lose significance. And we'll end it here. Sect in various parts of the world are becoming more and more articulate and providing diverse memberships against prevailing religion dogmas. This is a positive conclusion or a hopeful conclusion. So we here end with the presentation. Thank you so much. We'll meet you in the next class. But I have to conclude with something. Now you know how I used my answer to explain you the topic, which is enough in a way that is more practical and applied, that allow you to see the end result or a stellar answer. I hope it was stellar. Rather than giving you bullet points, allowing you to elaborate or giving you 1000 words of the topic, which will confuse you what to write. We have seen the content is very popular in the market. They give you a lot of content, but they fail to provide an answer to the question, which could be arranged in 150 words, 300 words according to the demands. But did you see that I wrote an answer? And this is a real time answer, let me say. This is what Jugadu is about to answer. It will make you understand how to manage space, time and creativity. So let me tell you, in UPSC, time, space and content exist in trinity, and you have to be Aam Aadmi and not a specialist to clear the exam. This is what we have to say at last. So until then, keep on writing and practicing, because with Jugadu, Labazna is not far away. I'll meet you in the next video. Please like, share and subscribe. Share your feedback and views on the lecture. Jai Hind.